Good morning student. I am Gauri, lecturer in commerce, working in Navalar Nedunchezhiyan Government Higher Secondary School, Puducherry. Today we are going to learn about ratio analysis, which is 9th chapter in your curriculum.
You have already studied in 8th chapter financial analysis, which explains how the financial status and operational performance are analyzed. That is, analyzing the financial statement for getting logical conclusion. Ratio analysis is one of the important tools used for financial analysis. It is not only important and powerful tool for measuring performance of business enterprise, it also involves computation of various ratios. Now, let us see about the meaning of the term ratio and analysis, which is the title of this chapter. Ratio is a mathematical expression between two related or interdependent items. In simpler terms, ratios are used to compare two items. Now we talk about the second term, analysis, which is the process of breaking complex topic into smaller and simpler parts in order to gain better understanding. Thus, for doing ratio analysis, we get the numerical or quantitative relationship between two items based on the accounting information available. Accounting ratios can be expressed in pure form, percentage, or time form. First, let me explain about pure form. Pure form is expressed in quotient. For example, 2:1, 5:2. Balance sheet ratios are always expressed in pure form. Next, in percentage form. As the name denotes, it is expressed in percentage. For example, 5%, 10%. Profitability ratios are always expressed in percentage. Lastly, in time form, it is expressed as certain number of times. For example, 2 times, 10 times. Turnover ratios are always expressed in times. Now, we see the definition for ratio analysis. Ratio analysis is a study of relationship among various financial factors in a business. This definition is given by Myers. This can be asked in 2 marks question. Students, please note it. In a balance sheet, we have financial factors like share capital, fixed assets, current liabilities, long-term liabilities, and so on. Equity shares and preference shares come under share capital. In current liabilities, we can take short-term borrowings, bills payable, and sundry creditors. Current assets includes inventories, bills receivable, sundry debtors, and many more. Ratio analysis is a study of relationship among various financial factors in which inferences are drawn based on computation and analysis of different ratios. These are the objectives of ratio analysis. To simplify accounting figure. For example, for finding gross profit, we take purchases made, sales executed during the financial year. Suppose the gross profit for the financial year is 200 crores 84 lakhs 94,500. This figure is difficult to remember. So, to simplify the accounting figure, we use ratio analysis. This figure can be written in percentage form like 40% or 50%, whatever percentage may be. To facilitate the analysis of financial statement, at the end of every year, we do a forecast for the next financial year. For example, to reach the gross profit of 40%, we do ratio analysis at the end of the year. We can easily compare with forecasted gross profit to know whether we have achieved the percentage or not. To analyze the operational efficiency of business. Based on the ratios, we decide the efficiency of the business. For example, a higher gross profit ratio indicates higher profitability and vice versa. To help in budgeting and forecasting. The result of this year analysis is taken for predicting the budget for the next financial year. To facilitate intra-firm and inter-firm comparison of performance. Ratio analysis is not only used to analyze the financial items of the same business organization, it can also be used to compare and analyze with other competitive business. Now, let's discuss about the classification of ratios. Ratios may be classified in two ways. One is traditional classification and other one is functional classification. Now we see traditional classification. This classification is done based on the financial statement. The traditional classification of ratios are again classified into three forms. First one is balance sheet ratios. In this method, both items in this ratios are taken from balance sheet. Look at the diagram. Current ratio, quick ratio, proprietary ratio, debt equity ratio. These come under balance sheet ratios. For example, for finding current ratios, the financial items such as current assets and current liabilities are taken from balance sheet. For finding debt equity ratio, the long-term debt and shareholders funds are used. Shareholders funds means equity share capital, preference share capital, reserves and surplus. All these items are in the balance sheet. Income statement ratio. For finding ratio, if the two items are taken from income statement, we can say it income statement ratio. Look at the diagram again. Gross profit ratio, operating cost ratio, operating profit ratio, net profit ratio. These all comes under income statement ratio. For example, for preparing gross profit ratios, the two items required are gross profit and revenue from operation. Both the items are taken from income statement. Interstatement ratio. If a ratio is computed with one item from income statement and another item from balance sheet, then it is called interstatement ratios. Look at the diagram again. Return on investment ratio, trade receivable turnover ratio, trade payable turnover ratio, fixed assets turnover ratio. These all come under interstatement ratio. Example, for finding return on investment ratio, we need net profit before interest and tax. It is taken from income statement. And the other item, capital employed, is taken from the balance sheet. Now let's see the functional classification of ratio. It is the most commonly used classification. Functional classification ratio is based on the purpose for which ratios are computed. Functional classification of ratios are again classified into liquidity ratio, long-term solvency ratio, turnover ratios, profitability ratios. Look at this slide. Current ratios and quick ratios comes under liquidity ratio. Debt equity ratio, proprietary ratio, capital gearing ratios are come under long-term solvency ratios. Stock turnover ratio, trade receivables turnover ratio, trade payable turnover ratio and fixed assets turnover ratio are comes under turnover ratios. Gross profit ratio, operating cost ratio, operating profit ratio, net profit ratio and return on investment ratio are all come under profitability ratio. Now the slide maybe seems difficult to remember, but once we finish the whole chapter you will find it quite simple. In computation of ratios, first we see liquidity ratios. Liquidity means capability of being converted into cash at ease. Liquidity ratios help us to access the ability of a business concern to meet the short-term financial obligations. Short-term assets have more liquidity compared to long-term assets. Short-term assets are current assets. Long-term assets are fixed assets. We can also say liquidity ratios as short-term solvency ratio. Liquidity ratios include both current ratio and quick ratio. Now we see current ratios. Current ratios gives the proportion of current assets to current liabilities of the business concern. It is compared by dividing current assets by current liabilities. Current ratios indicates the ability of an entity to meet the current liabilities as and when they are due for payment. Current ratio is calculated as current assets divided by current liabilities. In this video, we have only discussed about current ratios. The remaining ratios will be discussed in the next videos. Let's get into the topic. What are all current assets? Current investment, that is short-term investment. Inventories, we can say it as stock. Trade receivables, which includes bills receivable and sundry debtors. Cash and cash equivalents, which includes cash in hand, cash at bank, etc. And short-term loans and advances, prepaid expenses, accrued income, and so on. Let's see current liabilities. Current liabilities are short-term borrowings, trade payables. Trade payables includes bills payable and sundry creditors. Other current liabilities, it includes expenses payable, income received in advance, etc. And short-term provisions. Let us discuss and solve the illustration 1, which is in page number 297. Calculate current ratios from the following information. This is the question. First, let us identify what are all current assets and current liabilities from the given table. Current investments is a current asset, inventories is a current asset, trade receivables is a current asset, cash and cash equivalents is a current asset, prepaid expenses is also a current asset. We have to add all these items and find current assets. 80,000, 1,60,000, 4 lakhs, 1,20,000, 40,000 equal to 8 lakhs. That is, current assets is 8 lakhs. Next, we have to find current liabilities. Look at the table again. Trade creditors is a current liability, bills payable is a current liability, and expenses payable is also a current liability. So, we add all these current liabilities. 1,60,000, 1 lakh and 1,40,000. The total is 4 lakh. That is, the current liability is 4 lakh. Now, let's substitute current assets and current liabilities in the formula. The formula is current ratio equal to current assets by current liabilities. Current assets is 8 lakhs and current liabilities is 4 lakhs. 8 lakhs divided by 4 lakh. By solving this, we get the answer 2:1. For your better understanding, we do one more problem related to current ratio. Take the exercise number 1 in your lesson, which is in page number 320. Calculate current ratios from the following information. Calculate current ratio is the question. You know the formula for current ratio, which is current assets divided by current liabilities. From the table given, we will first identify what are all current assets. Current investments is a current asset, inventories is a current asset, trade debtors is a current asset, bills receivable is a current asset, cash and cash equivalents is also a current asset. These items and find current assets. 40,000, 2 lakhs, 1,20,000, 80,000, 10,000. We get the total of 4,50,000. That is, current assets total is 4,50,000. Now, we identify what are all current liabilities. Trade creditors is a current liability. Bills payable, current liability. Expenses payable is also current liability. So, add all these current liabilities. 80,000, 50,000, 20,000. We get the total 1,50,000. That is, current liabilities 1,50,000. Let's substitute the value in the formula. Current ratio equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. That is, 4,50,000 divided by 1,50,000. We get the answer 3:1. That is, current ratio is 3:1. Students, in your accountancy notebook, you work out the illustration 1 and exercise 1. Practice makes the man perfect. So just keep on practicing the accounting problem. Will make you more confident. Thank you.
I hope you understand today's class. Students, take your accountancy notebook, do the illustration 1 and exercise 1. Students, keep on practicing accountancy problem. It gives you more confidence. Thank you.